Cole, this is my journey of becoming a professional soccer player, building a bootstrap business, and showing my path to self-mastery. I make these videos to try to teach people how to create their ideal life. Today's video is focused on why you should move to a new place where you don't know anyone. As I'm just wrapping up my time living in Dubrovnik, I thought it was very relevant to talk about why someone should move to a new city where you have no previous connections. The first reason why I think you should move to a completely new place is to get out of your comfort zone. You're gonna grow a lot more in an unfamiliar situation. Being in this new country all alone, I had to learn how to fend for myself while not knowing the language and not knowing anyone else living here currently. I used resources such as people who have lived here previously, online forums, and Google Maps to map around the area and see what would be useful for me. I had to do the research myself to find the proper places, as well as talk to people who aren't too familiar with English. Having these small problems doesn't seem like a lot, but learning to get over the small problems will help you take on even bigger ones. In general, getting out of your comfort zone is a catalyst for growth. So if you can do it in small ways, such as moving to a country where you don't know the language, or getting out of your regular routine, you're going to be more comfortable in uncomfortable situations. For when the time comes, you're going to be better equipped to take on the task ahead. Purposely putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation is very important to your growth as a person. If you're always in a familiar situation, your ability to adapt will be significantly worse. You're going to have to learn how to take care of yourself, whether that means cooking, cleaning, or everyday tasks that you might just take for granted. For me personally, I took another step on my nutrition journey, eating healthier foods than I had been before. And also, this was the first time I've been in an apartment where I was the sole person responsible for cleaning. You want to learn how to become a self-sufficient person. The next point that I have is that you're free to become whoever you want. You have no chains of the past, no people that know who you used to be. You have the ability to choose whatever life you want going forward. Knowing this, you can take advantage of trying and experimenting with different things to see what suits you and what doesn't. For me, I was really trying to push into the productivity side, seeing if I could completely make my life as productive as possible. I wasn't perfect, and towards the end I started to struggle, especially as I knew people were coming to visit me, falling into old habits, into my old self, but I was a lot more aware of where I was failing and what was getting in my way without the influence of other people. I used to blame the people I was living with for the reason I would fall into distraction and not be the person that I could. But living alone, I had no one to blame and realized that it is my fault, and this is just something that I'm gonna have to fight and learn how to get over. Seeing the differences between who I am now and who I want to be is really important, so I can lay out the steps on how to become that person. And you have the ability to continually experiment with different ways of portraying yourself. You can either make up a story for who you are trying to be, or you can kind of pretend to already be the person that you want to. They're not going to know who you are and what you've done, so you have the ability to be someone else. If you're unhappy with who you are right now and you wish you were someone else, this gives you this first identity shift of believing that you are someone else. But you are completely in control of your time. No one else is telling you what to do or how to act or asking to spend time with you, so you're gonna have the time to spend it exactly how you want it. Then that builds into my next point. You're gonna really learn what matters to you. Without any outside influences, you're gonna see where your brain is thinking in terms of what are your wants, where you're doing well, and where you're slacking. Not having that outside influence is really important because you're trying to break down who you are as a person. For me, I think it was a lot more clear on how I wanted to portray myself, as well as where I was failing in being that person that I want to be. This is also a great test of your relationships with other people. You'll learn who actually cares about you. People who are authentic and actually have an interest in you will continue to reach out and stay in contact with. But there's going to be a lot of people, and you're just going to have to be okay with this, that will completely forget about you as soon as you move. I would recommend against just having a connection for the sake of having a connection. It's okay to reach out to these people first, to keep in contact, but you don't want to be the only person starting a conversation. Having all this free time will really allow you to choose what you want to do in life. You're going to take out a lot of the time that was spent with other people and have that to focus on yourself. If you had some things you really want to work on or improve in yourself or in your work, now you have the time to experiment and continually test to see what works for you and who you want to become. Continually experimenting and trying new things is really important on your journey to self-mastery, because you never know what's going to work. You might find that something that works for a lot of people doesn't work for you as much, and something that doesn't work for a lot of people works really well for you. That's just something you're gonna have to figure out on your own journey. Thanks for watching. I hope you got some value out of the video. Day 82 complete. I'll see you tomorrow.